New Orleans, we have a problem. This is not a drill, and this is certainly not the news the Who Dat Nation wanted to wake up to. We are looking at a potential dismantling of the Saints as we know them. I'm talking about the very fabric of this franchise being ripped apart at the seams. Sources are buzzing, the phone lines are melting down, and the reports crossing my desk right now indicate that the Saints are on the verge of 3 catastrophic roster moves that could send this team into a total spiral. We are talking about a franchise legend potentially walking out the door, a prime 27-year-old starter being hunted by vultures in free agency, and a quarterback situation involving Derek Carr that is about to explode. The decisions made in the next 48 hours will define the next decade of Saints football. You need to hear this before it hits the mainstream wires. But before we break down this exclusive insider info, I need you to step up for the team. We are pushing hard for 1,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button right now and join the movement.
Let's get straight to the first bombshell, and this one hurts. It cuts deep. According to multiple sources close to the organization, the New Orleans Saints are facing a legitimate, terrifying risk of parting ways with a 15-year veteran, a man who is not just a player, but the absolute heartbeat of this franchise. We are talking about a franchise legend, a guy who has been the face of the defense, the voice of the locker room, and the soul of the city for a decade and a half. The front office is currently in a gridlock, analyzing the salary cap implications and the youth movement strategy, and the numbers simply aren't adding up in favor of sentimental value. Insider reports suggest that the organization is bracing for an emotional exit, one that would officially mark the end of an era in New Orleans. Adam Schefter would tell you to look at the cap savings, to look at the snap counts declining, and to look at the harsh reality of the NFL business model, where age is the ultimate enemy. The data suggests that moving on is the logical financial move to clear books for a rebuild. But let me switch gears and talk to you like Stephen A. Smith for a second, because I am furious. How do you quantify a soul? How do you put a price tag on leadership? You are talking about a man who has given 15 years of blood, sweat, and tears to the black and gold. You don't just move on from a legend like this, you are ripping the heart out of the fan base. This isn't just about sacks or tackles anymore, this is about culture. When you have a locker room that is already fragile and you take away the one constant, the one pillar of stability, you are asking for absolute chaos. The audacity to even consider this move shows a disconnect between the front office and the reality of what it takes to win in this league. You need dogs, you need leaders, and you are about to show the door to the biggest dog in the yard? It is disrespectful, it is negligent, and quite frankly, it is a slap in the face to every fan who has bought a jersey in the last 15 years. If this legend walks, the Saints aren't just losing a player, they are losing their identity. The emotional toll this will take on the remaining roster cannot be overstated. We are looking at a potential mutiny of spirit within that facility if this is mishandled. The front office better have a plan that is nothing short of miraculous, because if they botch this exit, the ghost of this decision will haunt the Superdome for years. This is a critical failure of roster management if you let a cornerstone crumble without a proper succession plan in place. It is absolutely preposterous.
Listen, the news is moving fast, and the implications are massive. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and get these unfiltered, high-intensity updates before anyone else, you need to subscribe right now. Don't let the mainstream media filter the truth. Join us. If the potential departure of a legend wasn't enough to spike your blood pressure, listen to this next report because it signals a complete failure in long-term planning. We have confirmed reports regarding a 27-year-old starter on the Saints roster, a key piece of the starting unit who is squarely in the prime of his athletic career. As free agency approaches, this player has been directly linked to 2 other aggressive organizations who are ready to open the checkbook. The Saints front office is now staring down the barrel of a bidding war they are ill-equipped to win. This is a classic case of asset mismanagement. Insider details reveal that preliminary talks for an extension have stalled, creating a massive opening for these rival teams to swoop in and poach a starter who knows the system, plays significant snaps, and has years of high-level production ahead of him. The identity of the interested teams suggests they view him as a missing link for a championship push, which tells you everything you need to know about his value. Now, let me be clear. This is unacceptable. You spend years scouting, drafting, or developing talent. You watch them grow, you watch them learn the playbook, you watch them become a reliable starter. And just when they hit 27, the absolute athletic peak for a football player, you let them walk out the door? Are you kidding me? This is how bad teams stay bad. You cannot build a sustainable winner if you are constantly bleeding your prime talent to the competition. Who is making these decisions? While we are worrying about nostalgia with the veterans, we are losing the actual engine of the team. This 27-year-old is supposed to be the bridge to the future, and instead he's about to be a foundational piece for someone else. It makes me sick to my stomach to think that we are developing talent for the rest of the league to enjoy. The Saints need to wake up and realize that the window is shutting not because of age, but because of incompetence in retaining core assets. If this player leaves, you create a massive hole in the starting lineup that you have to fill with either an unproven rookie or a washed-up veteran. That is not a strategy. That is desperation. The rumors linking him to 2 other teams are specific and dangerous. These teams have the cap space and the ambition that New Orleans seems to be lacking right now. If the Saints let this 27-year-old walk for nothing but a compensatory pick down the road, it is a dereliction of duty by the general manager. You pay your core. You keep your prime players. It is football 101, and right now the Saints are failing the class.
And now we arrive at the story that changes everything. The domino effect is real, and it has reached the most important position on the field. Multiple mock trades and insider simulations are now lighting up the wires, suggesting that the New Orleans Saints are preparing to pull the trigger on a massive trade involving quarterback Derek Carr. We are seeing concrete links to a top contender in the AFC and a desperate team in the NFC. This isn't just idle chatter. This is smoke signaling a raging fire. The insiders are pointing to a post-June 1st move or a creative package that unloads Carr's contract to free up the future, effectively signaling a complete and total reset of the franchise. The experiment appears to be over. The patience has run out. The front office is exploring every avenue to move the veteran signal caller, which indicates that the Saints are ready to tear it all down. But I have to ask the question, what is the plan? If you trade Derek Carr, who is under center? Are we tanking? Are we admitting defeat? Because let me tell you, trading a starting quarterback to a contender in the AFC while you sit in the NFC South mud is a tough pill to swallow. It screams instability. Derek Carr has taken a beating behind that line. He has dealt with coaching changes, and now he's being shopped like a used car. The disrespect is palpable, but the confusion is worse. If you move Carr, you are telling the locker room and that 27-year-old starter and that franchise legend that the goal is no longer winning in 2025. The goal becomes survival. The links to the AFC contender are particularly fascinating because it shows that other teams believe Carr can win with a real roster, which is an indictment on the Saints organization itself. He can't win here, but he can win there? What does that say about us? It says we are the problem. The emotional intensity of this situation is reaching a boiling point. Fans are divided. Half want him gone, half fear the void of quarterback purgatory. But make no mistake, if this trade goes through, the New Orleans Saints are entering a dark, uncertain tunnel with no light in sight. This is a franchise-altering decision that requires precision, and based on the other news we've heard today, I don't know if I trust the people holding the trigger. This is a critical, legacy-defining moment for the front office.
This is it, Who Dat Nation. We are standing on the edge of a cliff. A legend potentially leaving, a prime starter being poached, and our quarterback on the trade block. This is the definition of a pivotal offseason. The decisions made in the next few weeks will determine if we are rebuilding for a bright future or sinking into obscurity for the next 5 years. I need to know where you stand. Which of these 3 losses would hurt the most? Do we keep the legend, pay the starter, or keep the QB? You can't have it all. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. Let's stick together through this storm. Go Saints!